Hello, welcome to my channel, G Automotive. Today we're going to do an oil change on this 2007 Toyota Camry. I've already pre-set it up on the lift. Safety is number one. Whenever you're doing these kinds of jobs, you want to make sure that the vehicle is safe on the lift to work under. So the first thing I like to do is just do a quick overview of the vehicle. Check for any trouble spots. For example, right here we can tell that there's a broken motor mount. We definitely need to get that eventually taken care of. I'm going to check all the fluids. We see that the coolant is okay. We're going to top off the windshield washer. We're going to look at the filter. To do that, there's two 10mm bolts right up here. And this baby comes right out. It's a little dirty, not too bad, but we went ahead and it takes 2 minutes to do. Now we're just gonna button this back up. We got the brake fluid here. It's about halfway, maybe a little lower than halfway, so we definitely want to inspect the brake system and make sure that the pads aren't low. So we're going to go ahead and raise it up, and we're set. So to change the oil, obviously we have to drain the old oil. And to do that, the oil will be in the oil pan, which is this right here. There's a drain plug right here. In this case, it's going to be a 14mm drain plug. So we're going to get our 14mm wrench. And we are going to drain all the old oil. There is a washer here. You want to make sure that that washer is always there. Now what I do is a full service for my customers, meaning I don't just change the oil. I do an inspection. These are very important, as you can catch some oncoming problems. Not only can you boost up your profit margin, but you can make sure that the vehicle is safe to operate and legal to operate on the streets. So what I do is I check tire pressure. And I start over here. Doesn't really matter where you start. Now this vehicle calls for 32 psi per tire. I normally like to set it at 36. So as we can see, they are a little bit low. The car is cold. The proper way to set this is while the tire is cold. So it's 32. I normally set them at 36. Never had an issue. You don't want to overinflate it or underinflate it. And as you can see there, 36 psi. And we're done with this. Now by now the oil should be drained all out. Put the plug back in there. The washer is right here. They are reusable. In this case, some of them are not, and you have to simply replace them after each use. But Toyota does use these metal washers. They are reusable. Okay, the filter in this case will be right here. Sometimes I can loosen it up Okay. Gotta be careful because these bad boys splash sometime. Oh, there we go. Alright. Just get the new filter. Now, one thing that's very important, these oil filters have a seal. Every now and then, that seal will get stuck up there. If you do that and you screw this bad boy onto it, you're gonna have a big leak. So always make sure that that seal is not there. Hand tight. You don't want to over torque these filters. Now, very important that you wipe down everything, because if you don't and you come back 3-4 months down the road, you're gonna have a glob of crap. So you want to make sure you dry everything down. Alright. Now, what do we want to look for in these inspections? Tire. Very important. Condition, not just the pressure, but the treads. Are they good? Are they worn? We want to look at the brake system. Let me get my flashlight. We want to look at the pads. Normally you can kind of get a little peek through a corner here somewhere. I don't know if you guys can see this. But most of the time you do not have to take the wheel off. So you want to check both inside and outside pads. Sometimes one will wear more than the other. Now, this vehicle is kind of difficult to see, but you can kind of get it in. These pads are about 50% worn, so we still got. We do the same on the other side. We want to check for oil leaks. Especially around the oil pan, coming up from up above. Check this one out. That looks good. Want to make sure there's no oil leaks. Let's see if you guys can get this. You can look at the drive belt from here. See if the power steering pump right here. Check it for leaks. Look at the suspension. Those little boots tend to break. Now we just kind of come along. The exhaust. Same thing here. We're gonna look at the brakes. Seem a little bit more worn out in the front, but we still got pads, so I would say we're about a 40% roughly. I also like to spin. Feel the wheel bearings. Make sure the brakes aren't locking up. I can feel some vibration right here. That tells me that this wheel bearing is starting to go back. Do the same here. Feels very smooth. Very smooth. So we're good here. Check the tie rods. Check for unusual play. Both sides. Rotate. And we're done right here. Now we're gonna go ahead and raise the vehicle up, remove the safety, lower it, top it off with oil. Now, how to tell what type of oil you should use. A lot of the times the manufacturer will stamp it right on the oil cap. Not always, but a lot of the times they will. Take a look here. I can use either 5W20 or 0W20, which is a synthetic oil. In my case, I've always used 520. I'm going to continue using 520 in this vehicle. But if it doesn't say it on the cap, where can you locate this? Well, on your owner's manual or any service manual, you can find that information. They will tell you the quantity and appropriate type of oil. Very critical that you use the appropriate type of oil for your vehicle. As you guys can see, I already have my proper amount here. The service manual calls for 4.5 quarts. I got just a little bit over that. And I got it in this bulk. So we're just gonna pour that in there. This is actually my very own mixture. It's not just water. It is water with denatured alcohol. It makes a glass cleaner, and I've been using it for some time now with no adverse effects. Check the batteries. Now we want to run it for about 10-15 seconds to get that new oil circulating, then we're going to check the level. So, as we can see here, the proper level has been achieved. The proper level will be between here and here. And as we can see, it's all the way up here in the full mark. So now, the next thing we're gonna do is, the final part of this service will be to reset the oil change reminder light. Most vehicles nowadays have this light that come on at a certain period of time to remind the driver, hey, it's time to change your oil. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Every manufacturer is different. In this case, what we need to do is the trip we need to set it on A, trip A. We're gonna turn off the ignition. We're gonna press and hold the trip reset button, and we're gonna open the ignition or close it. You're gonna see these little flashing lights there, and we're set. We are done. So in conclusion, okay, whatever.